Hi, I wasn't expecting company today, but since you're here, why don't you grab a cuppa and we'll have a chat. Hey, welcome back. It has been a few minutes since I produced a video. It has been more than a few minutes since I produced a video. And the reality is I have had some health issues, some pretty serious health issues. And I decided that I needed to take some time off to work on my health. Ultimately, the long and the short of it is I had a few back-to-back hemorrhagic strokes, brain bleeds. The reason for it is because I now know I have what is called a cavernous angioma, or Cavernoma for short. So what is a Cavernoma? A Cavernoma is irregularly formed vascular structure. My particular Cavernoma is located in the Pons section of my brain, and that is the middle section of this brainstem. And so it's responsible for a lot of communication between the brain and the spinal cord. I didn't know I had it prior to having a brain bleed. It is genetic. I inherited it from my mom. And so the fact that it happened wasn't kind of a surprise. It was more of a situation of the fact that I made it to my 40s without my Cavernoma making itself known. The surprise. It's kind of living in this self-induced bubble, thinking that, you know, I've made it this far without having developed a Cavernoma, that it wasn't going to happen. And so the fact that it did really put a damper on things for me. My Cavernoma is not repairable because of the location of it. Even Dr. Strange will not perform surgery on any section of the brainstem.
I have a 68-year-old female with an advanced brainstem glioma.
Yeah, you want me to screw up my perfect record? Definitely not.
Struggling with things like coordination as a result of it. I've never been a very graceful person anyway. I've kind of always lived in the realm of these guys. You know, and so that, you know, it is what it is. Some of the other things that I'm dealing with is facial numbness. I have lost a lot of feeling in the side of my face and numbness in my legs and feet. I also have a lot of muscle fatigue. UPS truck. I also have a lot of muscle fatigue in my arms and hands. The two biggest issues that I have to deal with on a daily basis is the use of my right hand. While I can use my right hand, it is my dominant hand. It now functions much like a left hand would. It's basically like trying to use my left hand, especially in small motor function. And so things are taking me a lot longer to do that would be small motor skills. And then large motor skills in my left arm. And so it is an adventure. My limbs are still usable. It's not total complete paralysis, so that is good. It just means that everything takes a lot more effort to do. And lots of balance issues. Tripping a lot, falling, like I trip constantly, I fall constantly, partially because I can't feel my feet, and partially because of balance issues. And these are all things that, like, my neurologist has said. Like, I've talked to actually multiple doctors who have all said everything that I'm dealing with is 100% explained by the location of my brain bleed. I have spent the last few months trying to figure out the changes that my body is experiencing as a result of having had a brain bleed. I'm trying to relearn how to do things. You know, that's not easy. You know, the past handful of months has really just been prioritizing my health and learning to balance everything, learning how to read my body. That's something that I've always struggled with. I've always been the kind of person where I pushed until I crashed, and that's not okay anymore. So these are things that I needed to learn how to change about myself. For my mental health, however, I very much so need to get back into producing content. I very much so love being a maker. I love crafting and painting and sewing and making my cosplays and making all of my props. It's an integral part of who I am. And so my mental health, a lot of it has been learning how to deal with the changes that I'm going through. You know, emotionally grieving a part of my life that I no longer have. But the other part of mental health is also about learning how to balance, how to incorporate the things that I love doing within my new physical parameters. That's what this video is predominantly about. This is me in advance partially apologizing for maybe not having a perfect upload schedule. You know, I want to upload when I physically can, but I don't want to stress over the weeks that I'm physically struggling. I don't want to have to cry over I can't upload or produce a video that week. And at the same time, I think I'm also asking permission to be my authentic self in what my new reality looks like, and not feel like I have to constantly apologize for being slower than I used to be or stumbling over my words more than I used to. I want to be able to be authentically imperfect and it be okay. The other thing too is, moving forward, I want my channel to look a little differently. I'm still going to make the things that make me happy. I'm still going to, personality-wise, be authentically me. But I think I'm going to be more so in that I want to be less selective of what I make. You know, in the very, very early beginning of my channel, I threw everything at the wall hoping something would stick. You know, whether it was sewing tutorials or just whatever craft project I was working on at the time. And the thing that really kind of sticks is my cosplays, because that is what I am the most passionate about. And I think that that comes through in the production quality of my videos. And that I don't want that to change, but I also think that I'm going to be a little less particular about my selection process, because maybe there's something that I want to make, and in the past I would be like, I don't think anybody would want to watch this kind of video, and so I make the thing on my own time. I don't record a video about it, and then it's just living in the background of my life, you know, and I'm a little bit more selective of what I actually film. Where moving forward, I think I may be less selective, and it's like, it's what I want to do. And if y'all want to join me for the ride, you are more than welcome. And if you want to bounce, bounce. And that's okay. But moving forward, I have to put all of my effort and energy into what really matters, and that's me and my family, and ensuring that I am being true to me. But I'm okay. I've got good doctors, and I grew up watching a fantastic woman who spent her entire life with a Cavernoma, and still did a butt ton of things that normal people can't do. You know, it's okay. I'm grateful to be alive. I'm grateful that it's, you know, we're living in a time where medical advances are constantly growing and changing, and things might change. You know, 10 years from now, there might be more technology. But until then, I live every single day being grateful that I woke up on the right side of the grass. So, you know, I'm grateful that I'm here. I'm grateful that I have had the immense support of all of my family through this entire journey. And I'm grateful for all of you guys for sticking around and being there. For the most part, I am just grateful that you guys are willing to come along on whatever crazy shenanigans I decide to get myself into from here on out. Because at this point, nothing worse can happen. Okay, I love you all, whether you are new or old. Thank you for sticking around, and I hope to see you in the future for more of my shenanigans.